Melty Blood Type Lumina, its release date has been announced, so it's coming this year, September 30th, which is great. It's another game that's coming out this year with rollback netcode. It's a big deal for the anime community. I can't wait till we get it needs five star lobbies for Melty Blood, where you actually have the bathrooms actually have separate stalls and nice sinks and freshly clean tiled floors and stuff like that for the host the tournament. So that's pretty cool. But one thing that was announced about this, that was kind of quietly said, was that there isn't going to be any crossplay between Melty Blood, which kind of sucks because it's on so many systems. Switch, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and it has rollback. So that almost kind of like just hurts a little bit. So starting with you, Mr. Gamer Left, also one thing to say, tournaments have also said, as far as like CEO and Climax of Night, that with the release date, they won't be able to, incorporate it into their tournament, since they already have so much work and stuff that they have already to add another game, which means you probably need to add more people, and there's already a situation with the spacing and everything for these tournaments. So with all that being said, what's you guys take on this? How do you feel about it not having crossplay, even though it's on a bunch of consoles with rollback netcode? How do you feel about it not being able to be incorporated into tournaments, and just everything about it that we know so far? So starting with you, Mr. Gamer.
So the fact that it's not going to be crossplay, I kind of feel like I don't know. We had this issue back in like Street Fighter 4, Marvel 3. It was like, whether we played on PS3 or Xbox 360, and most of the time it was always 360 was the standard, because the games do run a little better on the 360. Um, but now even with Strive, it's like it's on PC and PS4 and PS5, but it's like, why doesn't it have crossplay between Steam? Like I don't understand that one. I guess because it's like, well, it's on PlayStation, so that's going to be obviously the predominant system. But just why not just make it crossplay? Because now it's like you have people that want to play together. It was like, well, I can't buy it on that console or Steam, because I have to. If I want to play my friends, I got to play it on that system. I guess the fact that it's being on all these different systems, and maybe it's the same thing. They're like, well, whichever is the more popular system, which is probably going to be PS4, I would assume is probably going to be the standard. That usually seems to be like the standard for the game. So PS4, PS5 is probably going to be what the tournament standard is. I still feel like they should just go ahead and just make it crossplay. Like I feel at this point, you got rollback in it. Just go ahead and because this is the thing about anime games, especially like even other like those games, the online community, like when they come out, it's kind of populated, but man, those games can kind of die quick. You get to the point where you go online and you be like, it's two people playing. It's like one dude is like super guy, like he got all the wins, and then like Billy Bob 531 hand sandwich or something like that. And it's like, so it's like it can get rough, man. I remember when I played
Sound like
overnight.
Fetzel.
Bro,
I,
that's exactly what I was thinking though.
and hopefully what doesn't happen with London, that's, I mean, it was basically the same type of game, same developer. So, like, unless people that's like really solid keep those games alive, and he's only on one set console, you don't have the options of crossplay. Now you're automatically like um doing your number your partner players that can play at the same time. So that's gonna be a little concern, I guess. The whole thing about them not having it at like tournaments, that makes sense. I mean, if you got a game that's coming out like right as your tournament's about to start, there's no point in like putting in the tournament, because like there's not enough time for the game to be played. And then like Rexon said, the deal with people having enough space, having a room, having to add people to the list and all this stuff that's probably already been set in stone. And it's like you probably don't even have any leeway to change it. So it makes sense. I mean, I feel like a game at least like maybe 3 months. I say maybe 3 to 4 months before a tournament. Like that's probably good enough time. But if it's like coming out right, y'all, we game come out today and the tournament tomorrow, like come on, bro, we can't. I We can't,
Yeah.
man. I mean, if y'all want to, the bathroom's right over there, man. Like I can't, you know. As Rexon keeps making the running joke for. Hopefully, Melty Blood Lumina doesn't turn into a game where people in the restroom. Like, hey, man, I'm like, hopefully we can get this game out in the regular areas, man. So, um, like I said,
At least in the hallway.
yeah, something, you know. I mean, the game was cool. I probably try it out. I'm not super hyped for it. It looks dope. I mean, Guilty Gear's still out, so I'm still, you know, really deep off into that game. So, you know, I hope it comes out and it's successful. But whether the whole non-crossplay between all these multi-platforms is a little iffy, but you know, I guess they know what's best, man.
I definitely agree. Like, it's like when you have a game coming out, like as far as like, you know, them not wanting to like add the game to like any tournaments or anything like that, I think that's 100% fair. You know, even when like characters, like straight up, like one character comes out and the game's already out, they'll be like, oh, okay, character just came out. Yeah, too close to this tournament. Don't use that character. They'll be like, they will straight up be like, don't use that character. Well, you can imagine like a whole game coming out. It's just like, nah, man, nah, that's a no-go, bro. That's an absolute no-go. As far as like the whole thing with like cross-platform, I don't understand that. I really don't. See, now the thing is that they've all like in terms of all right, let's talk about a game here. Let's talk about Street Fighter V for a second. Street Fighter V, regardless of what you think about that game in terms of quality, in terms of what you think of the characters, you know, the online community, one thing is for sure, that game has survived and in some cases even thrived a little bit because what? People don't have to wonder what console you're playing on. It doesn't matter. Like whether you get it on PC or you get it on PlayStation, you can play that game with your friends regardless of what console they got it on. And I think that's one of the reasons why Street Fighter V has been able to like, you know, been able to garner such an audience because it doesn't matter like which like you'd be like, oh hey man, you have Street Fighter V? Yeah, all right, let's play. That's it. You don't have to ask somebody. Oh, like I was asking this one person like earlier, like this week. She was like, "Oh, I'm trying to learn Lydia. Teach me." I'm like, I don't know all that much, but we can learn together. What consoles do you have Tekken on? And she told me, and I'm just like, you know what? The thing about that is that I shouldn't have to ask you that question. I should be able to say, hey, do you have Tekken 7? Yes. All right. What's your game? What's your tag? Or what's your like code or whatever? How do I like, you know what I mean? We shouldn't be doing like I feel like we shouldn't be doing that, especially if you're going to implement rollback netcode and all that. It seems kind of like, wow, you got rollback netcode, but you didn't implement cross-plat. Then again, and I mean, like, you have games like Overwatch that just barely put in like cross-play very recently, you know? And I'm like, well, like, and this game, it's not like this game is like a game that's already like come out, or it was like a game that was like, it's like this game is coming out this year. This game is coming out this year. So it's like a game that was like for all intents and purposes might have been developed during the age of COVID, you know? So it's like we need games that are going to be like, hey, it doesn't matter what console you got it on. You can play with your friends. Like just buy the game. You don't have to worry about like I mean, if you're going to do that, you're going to have it on Switch. You're going to have it on PC. You're going to have it on like PlayStation or even Xbox. It's like it just doesn't make any sense. Like all these other games, Rogue Company, Paladins, all these games that are built like on like precision, like and stuff like that that are all cross-platform that you can play, like people playing on Switch, playing with people on PC, playing on people with Xbox, playing with people on PlayStation. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for you to be like, oh, I'm bringing out this fighting game, you know, this one-on-one fighting game, you know, between two people. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we're putting it on almost every console. Oh, that's great. So can I play with my friends on another console? No. Then why, it's almost like, why'd you even bother doing that, you know, if you weren't going to let people cross play with your friends? It's just like, it's like, it boggles the mind. Like, what were you thinking? Just make it cross play. Cause like, let's be honest, man. Like, you don't want to have to sit there and be like, oh man, I'm having such a great time playing the game. Hey bro, you bought the game? I sure did, friend. All right, let's play. And then you guys get online, you'd be like, wait, you have it on PC? I have it on Switch. What? and then you're kind of like, what? Why did you get it on Switch? It's like, but why did you get it on PC? And now you're fighting, and then like you're having a huge argument, and then before you know it, it's a huge like the console wars have like gone back into full swing all over again. You don't want that. Just make the game, just make them crossplay, please. Let's make all fighting games crossplay from now on. How about that, man? What is that too much to ask? I ask you, please. I really want to know.